with all due respect to Jay-Z, there's an awful lot of pictures of you running around in your undies at parties with Diddy.
Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Asner, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, you know.
There's just been a shocking revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than Jay-Z and Beyonce, reportedly taken during a wild party hosted by Diddy. Apparently, during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations. Speculation is rife that Diddy intentionally leaked this footage to authorities as a form of revenge against the Carters, allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles. It seems he's on a mission to embarrass them at any cost. Adding fuel to the fire, an unsettling audio clip allegedly featuring Meek Mill and Diddy has surfaced, courtesy of Diddy's former bodyguard.
Jay-Z's mansion raided? Diddy snitching to save himself? FBI knocking on doors of hip-hop royalty? Y'all, this might be the most explosive fallout we've seen yet in the industry's long history of secrets. Buckle up, because we're about to break down exactly what's going on behind the scenes with the Diddy trial, and how Jay-Z just got pulled into the fire. The rumor mill caught fire after a TikTok went viral, claiming that the FBI had officially raided Jay-Z's house. The post, titled "Breaking FBI Raids Jay-Z's Mansion," spread fast, raising eyebrows and sparking debates across social media. However, upon closer examination, there appears to be no credible evidence supporting the claim that Jay-Z's residence was subject to an FBI raid. Major news outlets and official sources have not reported any such event, suggesting that the viral video may have been a fabrication or misinterpretation. Still, the timing of this rumor was suspicious. Jay-Z's name had surfaced in connection with Diddy's case. Allegedly, there was surveillance footage placing Jay-Z at one of Diddy's infamous private parties, the kind that have now been dragged into court as potential crime scenes. These parties weren't your average Hollywood shindigs. Rumors of secrecy, NDA agreements, and celebrity guests have been floating around for years, and now they're all being re-examined under a federal microscope. Let's back up for a second. Diddy's facing one of the biggest legal battles of his life. Federal charges involving trafficking, racketeering, and a slew of other accusations. His New York trial kicked off in May 2025, and ever since, it's been one bombshell after another. The Department of Homeland Security raided both his New York and Miami properties in March 2024, collecting hard drives, footage, and tons of items that sparked even more questions.
Court has ended for the day in Lower Manhattan. Today, we did hear from 4 witnesses, a personal assistant of Sean Combs, Cassie Ventura's mother, also a male escort who took part in those freak-offs, and then the day wrapped up with a special agent from the Human Trafficking Division of the Homeland Security Department who was on the stand. And when his testimony was wrapping up, he actually walked over to the jury and he was showing them 2 AR-15s that had been disassembled. These were weapons that were seized from Sean Combs' Miami mansion. Also, just as court was wrapping up, he was beginning to open up a bag, but he was stopped. Inside that bag were high-heeled platform shoes. And so at that point, the judge decided that court is going to end for the day. So we'll have more of that tomorrow when he's probably going to begin with his testimony and then eventually be pulling out those high-heeled platform shoes. So why don't we talk about some of the other things that took place today? So when that special agent was on the stand talking about that Miami mansion raid, this was back in March of 2024, and we do have some video of that we can show our viewers. And so how the agent was describing this raid, 80-plus agents stormed Sean Combs' home. They used an armored vehicle to make their way through the gates of his Miami mansion out there on Star Island. And once inside, they seized baby oil as well as Astroglide as well as weapons. And so the jury was shown some photographs of some of the items that they seized from his property.
And what's even crazier, just days after one of those raids, Diddy was caught on video at his Miami mansion, chilling to music like nothing happened. Some say he was trying to send a message. He's untouchable, but others believe he's cracking under pressure and maybe even trying to cut deals behind closed doors. That's where Jay-Z comes in.
50 Cent is saying Jay-Z is going to be exposed next after Diddy. So Jay-Z had a close relationship with Diddy throughout his career. And 50 Cent pointed out that Jay seems to be missing after all the raids rained down on Diddy. Jay-Z was allegedly named on Epstein's client list. Epstein is a prolific child predator who would serve up underage girls to the elites. Epstein would fly out his clients and the girls to a private remote island in the Caribbean where they could get away with it and the girls couldn't escape because they were surrounded by sharks. It's been rumored Jay-Z had his own private island where the same stuff went down with Diddy, and we haven't seen the footage until now. And the similarities to Epstein are startling. It's in a remote part of the Caribbean and it has a landing strip. After Diddy's private jet landed in the Caribbean, it suspiciously went off the radar. So users are suspecting Jay's private island is where Diddy disappeared to, or at least hiding evidence. And they are also suspecting that this is where the hip-hop Predator ring occurred.
Jay-Z and them was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with M, because like with Nori was, he had communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homie. He was saying to Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50.
I hit the homie. The big homie, Jay-Z, right? And I told him to come pull up on me. And he pulled up on me, and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
There's now growing speculation that Diddy may be cooperating with federal investigators, and that Jay-Z could be one of the people he's turned over information about. It's a theory that's gained traction in online spaces, especially among users who follow celebrity legal cases closely. The timing is suspicious. Jay-Z was the last high-profile person spotted at one of Diddy's gatherings, and soon after, rumors started circulating about government interest in Jay's circle. Some even believe the alleged raid story was leaked as a warning shot to Hov, let him know he's on the radar. And with rumors of Jay-Z losing his cool yelling that Diddy snitched on me, fans are wondering what really went down behind closed doors. Is there truth to it? Or is this just another internet-driven distraction? While all this was happening, another layer to the story emerged, one that's got real courtroom receipts. Back in late 2024, Jay-Z was named in a civil suit by an anonymous woman. She claimed that back in 2000, she was taken to a party hosted by Diddy, allegedly drugged, and signed an NDA before experiencing something traumatic involving both moguls.
Brooklyn rapper and entrepreneur Jay-Z is accused of a 13-year-old girl back in 2000, along with Sean Diddy Combs. The new civil lawsuit alleges the pair drugged and a teen at an MTV Video Music Awards after party here in New York. The original complaint was filed in October against Combs. It was refiled today to include Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. Combs and Carter both denied the allegations, with Carter saying in part, quote, "My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch their life story is dressed in costume for profitability."
There are more accusations connected to the case against Sean Diddy Combs. The latest involves hip-hop mogul Jay-Z, who issued a vehement denial. This morning, a blistering response from Jay-Z after he was accused of assaulting a 13-year-old girl more than 2 decades ago. The billionaire hip-hop mogul was added to an existing civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, citing an alleged incident after the 2000 VMAs, where the victim claims she was drugged and by both Diddy and Jay-Z while a third celebrity watched.
The judge has actually agreed that the victim can remain anonymous and that the case can proceed. So there seems to be a little bit more to this case.
Jay-Z vehemently denying the claim, writing, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint. Whomever would commit such a crime against the should be locked away." Also saying, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence." Jay-Z also attacked the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, who fired back saying, "I won't be bullied or intimidated." Busby is behind at least 20 of the lawsuits against Combs, who calls Busby's lawsuits shameless publicity stunts.
Jay-Z's legal team, led by Alex Spiro, called the case bogus and said it was a clear attempt at blackmail. The accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, the same guy representing over 100 alleged victims in related cases. Busby was using a New York law that allows old cases to be reopened, and he was making headlines doing it. But the case against Jay-Z was dismissed on February 14, 2025, with prejudice, meaning it can't be refiled. Jay-Z clapped back by suing for defamation, saying private investigators found holes in the accuser's story.
Tonight, lawyers for Jay-Z have filed a defamation lawsuit against an anonymous woman and her attorneys, accusing them of knowingly making up false allegations. The woman, known as Jane Doe, dropped her suit against Jay-Z last month without explanation. Jay-Z says she and her lawyers later admitted the claims were totally fabricated, something her attorney, Tony Busby, though, denies. The lawsuit argues Jay-Z's reputation was damaged and his company lost more than $20 million.
How do you feel about everybody trying to put Jay-Z in this mix with Diddy? I've just seen so many videos, and it just seems like so many people are trying their hardest to associate Jay-Z with this Diddy situation. But I don't really see any evidence of it myself.
I don't care about Jay-Z.
Okay.
I sold Reasonable Doubt, so I get no given. That's just, that man, whatever's going on with him is on him. I just can't spend so much time worried about another man and what they do and how they feel and how people perceive them. You know, I got my own to be worried about. I got to get this money. I'm independent. You know, that whole situation, those people are in my rear view. Pause. So I don't care.
Still, people weren't convinced. Even if he walked out of court with a win, the public wasn't ready to give him a free pass. Being associated with Diddy's name right now is like stepping into quicksand.
There's now some rumors circulating, and you can shut it down the second I say it, that there was a tie with Jay-Z had some stuff to do with Diddy, and they're kind of both being, you know, aligned and quiet about it.
They're in a lot of pictures together. So, yeah. What about it? I don't know. I haven't been around them in the last 10, 15 years.
Got it. Okay.
Like, you know what's great? I don't know about certain things because I haven't been around. That's the reason why.
That's fair.
The reason why I pivoted, because the gray area thing, I don't play those games at all. So whatever was going on, I just never even engaged, indulged, or anything. Not even looked the other way. Doesn't look at all. I just left. So you don't see me in none of the pictures.
Has the Fed at all reached out to you for information or no?
I haven't been around him like that. I'm not around him like that. Just because we black don't mean.
No, that's not it. But you guys were partners. Like, that's a partner.
Oh, me and Jay?
At one point.
Oh, why would they reach out to me for what?
I don't know. If they want to say, hey, is there anything you want to talk to us about, you know, with what happened? They've never reached out to you.
Nah.
They're reaching out to a lot of weird people right now.
I'm not weird.
Okay.
They're not going to talk to me. I'm not weird.
All right. So let me ask this other question. Well, maybe within this context.
I hope they don't either. They better not come knocking at my door with that. I ain't got to do with none of that.
So let me ask this other question.
You see, I'm out of there.
For me, class of '96.
See, I'm the only one that can still talk. I'm the one that can come outside. I'm not hiding because I ain't got nothing to hide, and that's what I mean. I can sleep at night.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's
I think
no
you
gray area.
You would be the one that they wouldn't want to talk. They would be worried about you knowing stuff.
You got to remember, like, people that are committing crimes only tend to commit crimes around other criminals. I'm not a criminal like that. I'm not gonna. They're not gonna do things on my watch that I'm not gonna be all right because they know I'm gonna say something. So if I see anything that's unsavory or someone tries me, I'm not keeping that a secret because I'm not scared of the recourse. I have no fear of any of those people. That's why I could say no, because there was no fear. You can't even ask me certain questions because you know you're gonna get embarrassed. That's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And if I lose that fight, I'll lose it, but I'm fighting it and everyone gonna know what I'm fighting about. And I'm not gonna be scared of not being able to get a check from somebody because I'll go earn my own. Or like you said, or like I said, because I'm not worried about what people perceive as a win, I'm worried about being creative, and love is my currency. I care about being able to walk in here with my family and be able to work with my family, do books with my family, go to schools, go help close down jails. Like, I think there's way better stuff that I'm doing, and that's what I noticed. What they don't talk about, what no one makes a big deal until it's too late, is, damn, I'm going into schools 3 or 4 times a week and talking to kids and teaching them how to dream, and I'm going into jails trying to get the recidivism rate down. That's the that matters.
One of the wildest theories floating around right now is that Diddy's homes weren't raided just for evidence. They were raided to clean house. Some believe the government wasn't just looking for proof against Diddy, but trying to secure any blackmail material he may have had on powerful figures. We're talking videos, photos, messages, anything that could destroy careers. Journalist Jason Whitlock echoed this idea, saying it felt like the raid was about removing leverage rather than uncovering truth. And that comment hit home for a lot of people. After all, why was the raid carried out on a Sunday night, a time usually reserved for high-level, urgent operations? It makes folks wonder, was the government trying to get ahead of whatever Diddy might have been holding on to? What's becoming more clear is that Diddy's parties weren't just entertainment. They were part of a wider culture in the industry that relied on secrecy, NDAs, and selective invites. Phones were reportedly confiscated at the door. People signed agreements. The atmosphere was crafted to keep whatever happened inside from ever leaking out. Multiple celebrities, like Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams, have been ringing alarm bells for years, calling out this exact behavior. They were labeled crazy, bitter, or clout chasing. But now, as lawsuits roll in and raids happen, those so-called conspiracy theories are starting to sound more like warnings.
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah. amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book, Bling, and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
And if Diddy falls, it may not just be about him. It could drag down a long list of celebrities who've either participated or stayed silent. As of now, there's no official record of an FBI raid on Jay-Z's mansion. His team continues to deny any connection to Diddy's crimes, and they've aggressively shut down any legal attempts to tie his name to the scandal. But the internet doesn't need court records to judge a person. The court of public opinion is already in session, and the question remains, will Jay-Z become the next target in this expanding investigation? If Diddy truly is turning over information, no one in his inner circle is safe. Jay-Z, Beyonce, other stars, even executives and politicians could all be part of the fallout.
This boy Diddy is in so much trouble, y'all. Man, the indictment states authorities seized narcotics more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from Diddy's residence back in March, bro. Like, that just lets you know that they had so much going on at these freak-offs with all these celebrities and rappers, all these icons and elites from all over the world and attending these freak-offs. And they say these freak-offs last for days. So just imagine how it went down that Diddy spot, bro. But listen, this is what it say. In relationship to Diddy racketeering charges, the indictment states that the law enforcement oversees freak-off supplies, including narcotics, more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant in March raid of Diddy's Miami and LA home. As we previously reported, Diddy was accused of facilitating gatherings called freak-offs, during which he would allegedly use force to have victims engage in acts with male workers. The indictment stated that the freak-offs often last for multiple days, and he would allegedly provide victims with IV fluid to recover acts and drug use. Man, they trying to nail that boy Dilla to the cross. And just like I was saying, bro, if y'all think Diddy gonna go out without a fight, it's about to go down. a lot of big dogs about to get scooped up, bro. You feel me? A lot of big dogs like Jay-Z. I know he walking on eggshells. L.A. Reid, Clive Davis. You feel me? We can't forget about Clive Davis because allegedly that's who they said, that's who groomed Diddy. That's who turned Diddy into being the Mr. Untouchable for all these years, having all this power with the police from LA to Miami. You feel me? Like, Diddy was well secured in them areas. And now, Diddy facing the life sentence, you feel me? They said racketeering, life in prison, trafficking, maximum, life in prison, plus 15 years, transportation, and a maximum of 10 years in prison. If you think that Diddy is about to go down by himself, y'all crazy, bro. It's about to heat up. And they already trying to get him a $50 million bond package. Don't be surprised if y'all see Diddy come up out of them gates.
During the federal raid on Sean Diddy Combs' $48 million Miami mansion on March 25th, 2024, Homeland Security agents uncovered a range of items as part of an investigation into alleged racketeering, trafficking, and related offenses. Agents seized evidence including AR-15 style rifle parts with scratched serial numbers, loaded magazines, toys, lingerie, 25 bottles of baby oil, 31 bottles of Astroglide lubricant, and a rubber duck. Authorities also discovered a Gucci bag containing substances that tested positive for cocaine, ketamine, MDMA, and Xanax.
At that time, I had no idea that this was the crazy party guy. Never mind the crazy trafficker guy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But we didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I still don't believe that he's a trafficker. I mean, a partier, yes.
I feel like
trafficker and all that. I just don't know what trafficking means.
Okay, but what they say is that he not only would be like getting large number of women to come to the party, but then he would basically like intentionally get them loaded off hella drugs.
Dude, they were saying that essentially the allegation, correct me if I'm wrong, was they were trying to be like, he was having Young Miami in them and like people like that, like go get and bring them, and then they would.
I'm saying,
get them loaded.
You take the drugs at your own like discretion. Like you're
not everybody.
Nobody's like snort the line.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
no, they go and they put it in your drink, and then you just consume it.
No, they were putting shit in their drinks.
I would assume.
No, they're getting high together, man.
Okay, there's that.
What's the?
But then there's like, but most girls will like take a moderate amount of drugs. Right. It sounds like from this thing that it was like rooms full of chicks passed out. Now, granted, that might be them just hyping it up, making it sound crazy.
That sounds a bit salacious.
So listen, they do little amounts of drugs because they don't have the money. As soon as they go, that's like a cokehead walking in and it's 2 ounces on the table. Today is the day that I OD.
And I've seen that over and over. It'll be like a girl I know, regular chick, and then she starts getting invited to clubs. She starts being in the bottle service. A couple months later, she's like in rehab, or she's like a full-blown cokehead. Because most people on their day-to-day lives are doing as much drugs as they can afford. Most people, if they all of a sudden started making an extra $10,000 a year, would probably spend it on lean and well, I'm talking about like people that we're around. Yeah. But a lot of them would spend a huge percentage of it on drugs. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Way more weed, getting some good lean, more perks.
And just the partying in general, whatever comes with that.
But so then when you find yourself in an environment where you have infinite drugs available to you, what do you do?
When
you're probably going to do a lot of drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
and I don't blame you guys.
My whole thing is that this wasn't really a shock. I mean, like, let's go over the names: Craig Mack, Biggie Smalls, Black Rob, Shine, not getting killed, but getting, you feel me, whatever he had to go through, getting deported for his life from.
But I still feel like the argument
what does that have to do with?
What?
Bro,
like bad luck. He didn't make G-Dep go kill the guy.
Okay, so you don't think the fact that there's this aura surrounding him of dysfunction, how come there's more people on Bad Boy that are dead than Death Row? Think about that.
But
Death Row is like clearly like a more,
the vast majority of people in the situation you're talking about, though, it's like completely implausible that Puffy would have got them killed.
Yeah, I'm not saying Puffy got any of them killed,
but so we're indicting people for their aura now.
but the circumstances these people's lives took, which you could see the dysfunction stemming to, that is a lot to put on him. I feel you, but at the same time, like, this isn't a guy that has like a good reputation.
Testimonies have revealed disturbing allegations, including violent incidents, manipulation, and forced participation in acts known as freak-offs. What we're seeing is the potential collapse of a carefully controlled empire. From Diddy's flashy empire to Jay-Z's polished reputation, it's all being tested under the weight of secrets that are finally being dragged into the light. Whether the raid on Jay-Z's house happened or not doesn't even matter anymore. The damage is in the rumor itself, because now everyone's looking twice at the people we once thought were untouchable.
They already proved that he was paying to come and have with Cassie and other people. Now, they got some more that's gonna come, and we don't know when, but anytime they say they got 6 more weeks of testimony, we know to expect things. So I really don't want to get off into everything, but I'm definitely going to do these little spurts. When we come out of court, it'll be like 5 or 10 minutes until I get ready at the end, and I'll let y'all know everything that had happened at the end. And by the way, I'm going to do a show because there's half a homo cat, these band dudes. Now, I think Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley, this white dude, said that he some girls and stuff like that, and then they got a dude that looked like supposed to be a younger Gene Deal. A younger Gene Deal that was doing security with Diddy. They showed a picture up there. The dude looked like he could probably be my son one day, but it ain't me.
And as the trial unfolds, we might find out that this is only the beginning. If you thought this was wild, trust me, there's more coming. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Do you think Jay-Z is involved, or is he just guilty by association? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.